When it comes to strengthening your characters in Zenless Zone Zero, it follows similar priorities to other Mihoyo games. First, you prioritize leveling your character, as there is a big modifier on level differences. Then you level their wenjins. Then you can either try and upgrade your discs, although that is a bit of an RNG fest. And then lastly, you can also try and level their skills, which are guaranteed increases, but they're a lot more minor in comparison to disc drives. Now, something that is very different compared to other games though, is that these wenjins and also your disc drives play a much bigger role in your damage than you would think initially. And today we're going to go into depth as to just how exactly all of these matter in strengthening your character. Speaking of upgrading new characters, if you need to top up for some polychrome to try and get that shiny new S rank, why not consider using Loot Bar? Loot Bar is highly secure, fast, and has a lot of discounts. For example, the 3000 monochrome pack usually costs $50, but with Loot Bar, you could save up to 15% on your purchase. Topping up is really easy. All you have to do is enter your in-game UID and server, and after confirming your payment, you will receive your monochrome in a matter of minutes. You even get the double reward for the first time bonuses. Be sure to use the link in the description if you want access to these amazing discounts. Anyway, back to the video. First though, let's get a basic understanding of how all of these stats work, using none other than our best friend over here, Billy. If we check here, his base attack, 213, no bonuses. This is just his pure regular attack. For our first order of business, we're going to give Billy his Starlight Engine. And now you can see base attack plus 397 and attack percent 19. So now taking these two values into account, if we go back and check our base stats, we now have an attack stat of 725. And this makes sense because, as you can see here, very noticeably, his base attack went up, which is why it says base on the wenjin. So this white number increases, and then this 115 is that 19% of the 610. So moving forward, we're going to give a little flashbang warning, but I'm going to show you some math, so be warned. Here is a handy dandy little calculation where right now I am tracking the flat attack stats. So this is the base attack and the engine bonus. As you can see, this does total up to that 610 that we saw. And then don't worry, there are no flat attack bonuses yet because I don't have any discs on him. And for the attack percent bonuses, we have that 19% from that engine, which as you can see is contributing 115, as we saw for the green number, which gives us a total of 725.9 attack, which rounding gives us 725 as we saw on Billy's attack stat. Now though, let's get into the disc drives. I'm just going to give him a set of Puffer Electro 4 pieces. This is going to be very important later on, and then 2 other pieces. Noticeably, Puffer Electro 2 is going to give more attack, but notice that this does not say base attack, similar to how the engine does. This just says attack. Here, there's a substat of 19 as well. Here is a 2% attack buff. So, taking into account all of these new attack bonuses and attack percent bonuses, and also the set effect of Hormone Punk, let's go ahead and have a look at what Billy's attack stat looks like now. As you can see, it is still 610 base. This is just the level plus the wenjin, but now the bonus attack has gone up to 291. And if we consult our little calculation here, I did forget to add the set bonus, but I added this now. Again, we're keeping the flat attack as is, 610. The flat bonus now is the 53 from that disc 2, and then that 119 substat, so that is a 72 bonus for the green part. And now for the attack percentages, we have the engine giving 19%. The substats were 2%, 2%, and 3%, and the 10% set bonus from Hormone Punk is also included to give a total percentage bonus of 36% of that 610, which is going to be 219. And we see we add that all up and it does give us 901.6 attack, which is what we get on Billy. Here's the thing. This is all when you are looking at the menus in the screen right now. These are all stats that you can see right here, right now. However, the reason why I chose Hormone Punk and also Starlight Engine is that there are other attack bonuses. 12% after doing a quick assist or a dodge counter. Another 15% after an ultimate. And there's also other buffs we can give through Soukaku. How does that play out? Well, it's going to be a bit different. How about we head into a combat and see for ourselves. Alright, now that we are in the training room, let's have a look at Billy's stats once again, shall we? Here you can see it is that 901 again, like we saw in the earlier menu. However, note that these are all white numbers. This is no longer the 610 plus the green amount. This is all a white number. Now here's where things get interesting. I'm going to enable the enemy to attack me so that I can dodge and trigger the Starlight Engine. Alright, I have just performed a dodge counter which has boosted my attack by 12%. Let's have a look at what our stats look like now. We have gone 901 plus 108, so that is about 1009 attack. However, if you've done the quick math, you will know that this 108 is 12% of our total attack stat, not our base attack like how the previous calculations were based off of. This conditional bonus, like many others, are all based on your total attack stat before you even enter combat. So if we go back to our calculations here, 12% gave us 108 attack damage, whereas a 36% attack bonus in the main menu gave us 219. With only a third of the attack percent bonus, we're still getting half of the actual attack stat added to our values. This is a huge increase, and this changes a lot of things, because now that was just the Wenjin bonus. Let's also use our ultimate now and see what happens. To trigger our Puffer Electro. So we now have the Starlight Engine and Puffer Electro, and now our attack is up at 243. That's another 130-ish odd attack stat that we have gotten from that 15%. And likewise, what about the regular flat buffs? So similar to what the flat substats are in the disk drives. Well, that's why we have Soukaku over here. So let's have her use her Fly the Flag real quick. And now we have the attack buff, which is 110 here. So if we switch back to Billy, we are now up to 353 because again, the green attack stat is added afterwards here. This gives us a total of about 1,253 attacks. So that is essentially to say that any bonuses that are given in combat use your total attack stat from your menus. Now this doesn't mean too much for flat attack bonuses, like for example Soukaku's, because it doesn't matter if you add 110 now or 110 earlier. It is a bit of a pity that the 110 isn't included in the percent bonuses now, but that's okay. The main thing to note though is that these percentage bonuses from your conditional effects that take effect only in combat work on your total attack stat. What this means is that obviously when it comes to things like your 4-piece disk drive sets such as Puffer Electro or Hormone Punk, that 15% from Puffer Electro or that fat 25% from Hormone Punk 4-piece sets are going to be a lot more impactful than you think. So this might change build crafting and theory crafting quite a bit. This might also change what we think of as the best in slot for attack weapons. Because yes, of course, we always look for crit and crit damage on our Wenjins, but the Starlight Engine, which is a free-to-play engine, you can buy these and you can max this out very easily with engine components that you can farm, as well as these engine chips that you get from your weekly Notorious hunts. You can very easily upgrade this to a 5-star version, which can give you nearly a 20% attack bonus. Now remember, with my Billy at 12%, that was only about 100 attack. But when you have a fully built character late game, and you let's say have like 3000 attack already at base value, and you are then calculating 20% on that, before any crits and crit damage is taken into account, suddenly, attack percent is looking a lot nicer than crit damage, right? And for Starlight Engine, a dodge counter or quick assist is very easy to activate, especially quick assist if you're using a support. They almost always have a way to easily trigger an assist off of their EX skill. But all of this is basically to say that Starlight Engine is a very good, cheap alternative and provides a much bigger buff than you would initially think. Otherwise, if you did learn something today, liking, subscribing, and commenting would be greatly appreciated. So until next time, bye bye.